So I'm going to talk about emotions today. As human beings, we have a very wide range of emotions. That's kind of what makes us quite special. But my perception is that we don't really get much guidance on how to understand our emotions, how to process them, how to manage them. When I was at school, I remember doing the faces. So this is a happy face, this is an angry face, this is a sad face. And I think that was more just about the sort of the social interaction. So being able to recognize somebody else's facial expression. But I don't ever remember any point where anybody kind of sat me down and really went through what my emotions are, where they came from, why I was feeling them, and how to actually deal with those emotions. If anything, through childhood, I learnt to suppress my emotions. So I went into adulthood very, very detached from my emotions. And what I've learnt is that a lot of adults go into adulthood, or a lot of people go into adulthood, and once they get there, they've developed very, very unhealthy coping strategies to their emotions. So whether that's addiction, depression, anxiety, codependency, the list goes on. But the point is that if you don't know how to deal with your emotions, you're just going to develop something that's quite a negative behaviour around that. So I wanted to share some of the learnings that I developed about emotions, and hopefully that will kind of help you a little bit. But number one is that there's no such thing as a bad emotion. Quite often we associate our emotions as positive or negative based on the experiences that we've had around that emotion. So if you've had pleasant experiences, you're going to say, oh, those are positive emotions. And if you've had unpleasant experiences, you're going to say that they're negative emotions. But that's not true. We have a spectrum of emotions, and all of them are just as valid, and all of them are just as necessary. The second thing is about taking responsibility for your emotions, which is something that human beings find very, very difficult. We live in a blame culture. So if you're having a positive experience, you're then going to hold that other person accountable for that because they've given you pleasure, they've given you a nice experience, and you're going to say, oh, that was because of them. And then they have all the power in that. And then the same with the more negative experiences that you have. If they're painful, if they've hurt you, if they've made you angry, you're then going to blame that person, and you're going to hold them accountable for the experience that you're having, for the emotion that you're having. But it's very, very empowering to take responsibility for your emotions. Once you actually start owning your emotions, once you start realizing that nobody can make you feel anything, they're not actually getting into your mind or into your body and manipulating your emotions, you're just having a response, you're having a reaction based on your perception of life, based on your experiences. So once you're able to kind of own your emotions, and instead of blaming the other person for giving you a positive or a negative experience, you can then look at your emotions and inquire within. And just once you start doing that, it sort of takes the fear away, because I think many people are very afraid of sort of connecting with their emotions and really understanding them. If you're feeling something that's unpleasant, the quickest thing that you want to do is get rid of it. So if that's screaming and shouting at somebody and blaming them and expecting them to change whatever it is that they're doing, you're then going to release that emotion. But that's not the healthy way of doing it. It's when you're having that time, that experience, that's your time to really inquire within and investigate that emotion and understand where it's coming from, why it's such a big deal for you, and then sitting with it and just sort of going, okay, right, this is what I'm feeling, this is why I'm feeling this. And then the sort of, the behavior that comes from that emotion is sort of taken out, and you're able to constructively deal with that emotion. And usually there's a lot of insight in that emotion. So it might be that you're feeling undervalued or underappreciated, or you're feeling insecure about something. By being able to own that emotion, you're then able to take responsibility for it, and then you're empowered to communicate your needs and say, okay, this is why I'm feeling this way, and this is actually what I'm looking for here. You get the opportunity to assert your boundaries, you get the opportunity to address your own needs, and therefore you're taking the power away from the other person and you're taking it on yourself. I've kind of been practicing that for the last couple of years now, and what I've found is it's really, really strengthened my emotional resilience. I'm much less emotionally reactive to certain situations. I don't feel like, oh, I'm angry now, I need to go out and have a drink, or I'm gonna blame you for the experience that I'm having. It's made me much more able to navigate my emotions. So when those waves come, you're able to ride the wave rather than just being absolutely taken out by it. So I hope that you've found that useful. If anybody is wanting more information or more guidance around this kind of, these emotions and how to be able to understand your emotions and build emotional resilience, please feel free to get in touch. The inner child work that I do and the coaching that I do is very much all about building emotional resilience for you, so that you can kind of empower yourself and be your own hero. Thanks for watching.